Welcome to the Coach and Crew Show. Get ready to take the...
Welcome to the Coach and Crew Show. And once again, if you only heard the off-camera banter between us to start it off with, you would the edited versions are always probably funnier than the real versions. And so here we are. Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to talk a little NFL banter, or just the rumor mill going around briefly with Byron Tibbetts and myself. If you haven't already done so, please hit the button in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. It's the subscribe button. That way you're up to speed on all of our videos when it gets released. Make sure you turn on your bell as well so you get the notifications. Our website, please check it out, coachandcrewshow.com. It's updated daily. We put out different things like today is Sunday. We're halfway through the playoff games this weekend, playoffs. And what we will release on Monday directly and only to the website is our votings of the game balls for this weekend. And that's some great game balls we're going to have to give out, especially on the defensive and special teams side. So please stay up to speed so you can get all the information we share out. It is a lot of information. We do put a lot of time and effort into this. We're not just big, dumb guys like we look like on television and like on the internet. We actually do put thought and process into this. Also, check out one of our cohorts, I guess you could say it at this time, whalehookagency.com. If you need any type of promotional material, they can put their logo on anything. whalehookagency.com. Tell them the Coach and Crew show sent you, and they'll work with you even greater. Plus, they also can help any type of nonprofit organization with some helping of financing. So two points of views. They work mostly with a lot of athletic and nonprofit associations. whalehookagency.com. All right, Byron, let's get right into it. Both of us went 0-2 so far Saturday. Great Saturday games. but we both called them as wrong could be. I think you wanted to start with Green Bay and your takeaway with Green Bay. So I'm just going to turn it over to you and let you run with it.
Well, first off, we do have a blooper reel that we attempted to put on YouTube, but they took it down. But anyways, moving into the games, we both got that one wrong, but they were both great games. So, and also, even though that I picked Tennessee, I was hoping for Cincy, so that worked well. Also, I was just hoping the games would be a little tighter, and boy, were they. Every defense showed up, so couldn't believe the lack of scoring. Couldn't believe how many bets I put on the scoring on FanDuel, so there is an association there. But anyways, the lack of scoring was somehow exciting. So let's go to the lack of scoring in Green Bay, though. Three-time MVP, Aaron Rodgers, at home, all the hype. It should be the win, Super Bowl or bust kind of year. All the media has been around him all season long. Some off-season comments that, painted him that maybe he's not the TB12 off-season kind of guy that he needs to be at his age. Well, he lit it up this season. I mean, almost 40 touchdown passes, proved the critics wrong. Well, here it is, playoff time to prove them wrong for sure, and 0 touchdowns. He had some off throws. You could see some frustration from the receivers. It was already 0 degrees in the stadium, so the players were feeling every little hit. So when that ball's a few inches off and you're leading them into traffic or you're throwing it to the wrong shoulder, I mean, it looked like a sloppy game from both offenses in that game. The 49ers offensive line looked a little lost. Poor Tom Compton, former Redskins backup. He was out there, didn't know which way was left or right. So I don't know if the Packers defense was just confusing them with stunts and lineups, or if they weren't communicating in the complex offense that is Kyle Shanahan. I mean, he was trying to run tosses inside. I mean, some of those offenses you can get a little too fancy in my opinion, but anyways, it was a defensive struggle. So
well, it was great storylines. Yeah, it was great storyline. Some people see a 7-3 halftime, 19-16 final, 13-10 final as bad games. And maybe if the Jets were playing the Bears, I could subscribe to your theory on that. But guess what? These were good football games. And if I were to tell you, Byron, combined on both Saturday games, there'd be a total of 1 touchdown pass thrown, and it was by Ryan Tannehill, would you have believed me?
No, I would not have taken that bet. But
In
with
fact, I
that
think
being
you
said,
took.
the offenses were moving the ball, though. There was just red zone turnovers. It was all of a sudden the defenses are turning it up now that it's playoff time. I mean, with that being said, though, the Tennessee game, it was Derrick Henry's first game back. And watching him get an ankle tackled makes you wonder, is this guy healthy? And it's like, so there was some question marks there. But all in all, the games were great. Looking forward to 2 more good ones today.
A buddy of mine and I were texting back and forth. And listen, it's professionals. You're allowed to criticize. Ryan Tannehill took the Tennessee Titans to the number 1 seed in the AFC. But look what he threw 3 interceptions. One on his very first pass, one on his very last pass. He and I were having this conversation back and forth, and we never really finished it and agreed on it. Is he at his ceiling? Is this the best you're going to get at Ryan Tannehill? And is that good enough for Tennessee? And do you swap him out and restart, or do you just keep adding more pieces?
Depending on his contract situation, I think you can keep him there and just you don't have to put the ball in his hands. I mean, if you look at San Fran when they made it to the Super Bowl, Garoppolo, I think, threw 4 or 5 times in the championship game. So you don't have to put it on your quarterback. Now, because Tannehill is a good quarterback at the end of the day, they'll put the faith in him, but he just made some poor decisions. And so I think he's better there, though, than somebody else, the evil that you know.
Exactly. All right, let's get into our hot topics of the day. We're just going to just jump through them real quickly. Luke sent the group chat a text of a tweet, and I'm going to put it on screen. But basically, it says, and here I read it out loud as it's on screen, visit the COVID-19 Information Center for Vaccine Resources, because the headline of this is the second time this season that Aaron Rodgers fooled us into thinking he had a shot. Well, apparently, Big Brother of the Internet read the word shot, and they instantly put CDC stuff on the bottom of that tweet, and that has now officially gone viral because of that. So what's your take on Aaron Rodgers? First off, insert jokes here, but now he is in off season. Green Bay was not exactly his destination of choice this past summer. Is it only going to get worse? Is he going to make a fast decision? I don't expect you to have insider information, but what's your gut telling you?
Well, I've actually been talking to Packers Nation this morning, so I have my inside sources. But I don't expect him to spend the offseason in Green Bay. He's made it very well known he doesn't necessarily enjoy his leisure time there. However, I think next fall he will be back in Green Bay. I don't think Green Bay wants to see him leave. Going back to what you were just saying with Tennessee and Tannehill, it's kind of, Green Bay's happy with Aaron Rodgers, and they don't think that's the ceiling. They know he can win MVPs. They know he can win Super Bowls. So I think the way his team rallies around him, the media rallies around him in one way, and you see the team rally around him in another. So I know a lot of folks, like to root for the scenario where he ends up elsewhere. But I think at the end of the day, he'll be back in Green Bay. But hey, anytime you want to come over to Washington, D.C., to the Red Hogs or the whoever's, you just come on, buddy. Come on.
Number 2 take. There's word leaking out of New Orleans that Sean Payton might be ready to just simply retire. He's had a phenomenal career as a head coach in New Orleans. It wasn't his fault the quarterbacks went down. He was on quarterback number 7 at one point, I think at one point this season. It's not a question of he's a bad coach. It might be just a question is he ready just to do something else and enjoy his personal time? It's just a rumor mill at this point. What's your take if you were Sean Payton?
Well, it's funny you mentioned the quarterbacks. I think that may have a lot to do with it because they just signed Taysom Hill to a $40 million deal, and I don't know if that's their quarterback of the future. So I think they still might need a piece there. I think they need some other things as well. So I think it's more about if Payton wants to help rebuild with another quarterback, or if he was just looking to, ride out the Breeze years. They had some good championship runs there. That was really his window. So does he want to go through another rebuild, quote unquote, or is it time for, like you said, him to go enjoy his time doing whatever he does in his leisure?
I have this theory. If you win the Super Bowl as a head coach, that should give you automatic entrance to the Hall of Fame. I see him as a Hall of Fame type of coach. So whatever he chooses, I'm at peace with. I'm not a New Orleans Saint fan, but I don't root against the Saints either. Who dat nation? So I do wish him well regardless.
Agreed.
All right, number 3. And this is the interesting one. Bill Bedwell, the owner of the Arizona Cardinals, it's been leaked out that he's gotten frustrated with the way the Cardinals finished the regular season and their efforts during their wild card loss. Insert joke here. Cliff Kingsbury was the only person to ever hold Patrick Mahomes to a losing record, albeit at Texas Tech. So is Bill Bedwell going to pull the trigger and move on from Cliff Kingsbury? That's going to be an interesting one to see, because Bruce Arians, I get the soccer coach and the football coach mixed up all the time because they have similar names. So
Bruce Arians.
Bruce Arians. I get, like I said, soccer coach, football coach, has same close names. I screw them up all the time.
Football, tomato.
Exactly. He got out of coaching altogether for 1 year because of just the way things were run in Arizona. So I wouldn't put anything past Arizona to have something happen. Once again, I know you're not inside of the Phoenix area, but what's your gut telling you?
There's got to be some people on the hot seat there after the hot start, then the cold finish. Now, I know any team can say the injury bug, so we won't go there. But the coaches in the NFL are always in question. The NFL stands for not for long, so even when you think you're safe 1 week, you might not be the next. And even Nagy up in Chicago, I mean, he had 2 hot seasons to start. Now he's out in Chicago. So, I mean, you can be at the top of the world one day and looking for a job the next in the NFL. So I wouldn't put it past it. The real question is, if he's out, is the new coach, how does Kyler Murray fit? Because last I checked on his playoff stats, he had no touchdowns and 2 picks in the playoffs. And coaches coach, but players play. So is he going to end up being a flash in the pan running quarterback that had a good year here or there? I mean, Josh Freeman had 30 touchdowns. RG3 was offensive rookie of the year. Does he fizzle out? So there's some question marks in Arizona because they put some receivers in that area. I mean, he's got Hopkins, Green. They brought in James Conner. I mean, they got weapons all over the offense. So I think they'll get some more time to let us know. And I think they're still, have some good football, but definitely questions.
One more topic for today. And this is the rumor mill I've heard from secondhand smoke. And then it turns out, Byron, you've heard the same rumor. I'm not buying in just yet, but there's definitely, when there's smoke, there's got to be a fire somewhere. So I don't know if it's just in the kitchen or if the whole building is burning. Russell Wilson and Pittsburgh.
You see the smoke rumbling from Seattle every so often. There's always a tweet here, a comment there. Whenever you have to clarify several times over a couple seasons now, your intentions, then there's question marks all around Seattle. So I think they're going to implode. Sorry, in-laws. My in-laws are all Seahawks fans. I think Russell could be on the way out. I know you think there's a couple destinations for him, but anybody can use a Russell Wilson. Pete Carroll's the oldest coach in the NFL. Bobby Wagner's not a spring chicken. I mean, I could see Seattle making some major moves that will change their next few years. So watch out for Seattle.
They did just fire their defensive coordinator, Ken Norton Jr. So they are making some internal changes, but now if the question is, like you said, major changes. All right, this has been the Coach and Crew Show. We're going to try to do some daily hot takes and post our opinions. One of our goals as well is make this as interactive as possible. So Todd, if you're watching, comment away. If any of our other subscribers, we've gained 35 subscribers in the past 3 weeks. We're doing something right. You guys are doing something right. Please comment away, share your thoughts. We will reply to them. We will bring your thoughts up as well in future episodes. So please comment away, hit the subscribe button, visit our website, coachandcrewshow.com. See you next time.